Welcome back to the channel. Dude, seriously. We are back out here working on these bushings. This job ranks right up in here with the quadrant deal. Well, our here's the track day thing. All right, slicks are welcome. They don't really mean that. They don't really want slick cars to show up, especially stick shift ones. So I'm going to take a hard pass on that and just, keep my frustration level low. Here is our 45-degree water neck that we will need, or we won't. It's not that we need it, but we want it for how we want to run our radiator hose and stuff like that. This right here is a piece of the puzzle that I bought and feel like I got until I actually see it, I feel like I got a fairly decent deal on it. And sometimes it's like anything else. I wasn't technically looking for this, but because of what we're going to be doing with McNugget, there was a couple things I wanted to do to just make my life easier. This is what we've decided. This is basically what we've decided. It is hard for me to trust a 28 spline stock spider gear track lock at the track where I'm going to be launching this thing at like $6 grand. I know that it's light. I know it doesn't have a lot of clutch in it, or won't have a lot of clutch in it, or whatever. It's just, I'm not a fan of that. I'm an axle, which it has aftermarket axles in it, 28 spline hardened street axles, but so the mini spool thing for this particular car, it's, some people swear by them, other people, there's like no middle ground. It's either great or these things just implode into dust. So in lieu of that, we're just going to use we're just going to go with the what I didn't want to do originally, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make things happen. We're going to take the rear end out of Krusty and we're going to put it in McNugget. So we're going to put the 514 on the spool, we're going to put the axles in, and blah 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 blah, and that's going to be our rear end situation. We are also going to pull the short block out of Krusty, and we're going to take the tubular K-member and all that stuff, and we're going to put it on McNugget. Now, because at the end of the day, it's my stuff, and that's what I want to do. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out down the road. As far as the 351 situation, that I'm gonna put 351 in Krusty. 351 situation, that I am working on something with that, kind of just a thing to kind of keep that, to kind of push that forward a little bit and stuff like that. So that, we'll talk about that some other time, but it's not like I'm just, it's hard, you guys are gonna go crazy because I just talk so much, but I try to explain things so it keeps the questions down. So you guys, why are you doing this? It's hard for me to be super motivated on the 351 because I have no goal. I have no reason to really do it, to really want to say, yes, get the 351 going, because I'm going to do what? What are we going to do? Exactly. What are we doing? McNugget is, at first, was just, hey, get the car running right, and let's go take it up track suit and do stuff like that. And then Don, bless his heart, hey, I could send you this intake to use. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that completely changed the dynamic of my thought process. I'm like, man, I'll put that upper on, we'll get that ported lower from David, we'll put some ported GT40s on it, we'll stick a bunch of gear in it, I'll put the A5 in it, man, we'll go out there and we'll go after Dragon's 680, which is the fastest naturally aspirated EFI pass I've ever made. So I had a goal just appeared that wasn't even on my radar. I'm just going along, yay, McNugget, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now all of a sudden it's like, hey, we could maybe get that number. That gave us a goal. It gives us a reason. It gives us a reason to take that hill. The 351, I have no reason to take the hill. So it's hard for me to get super juiced up. It's like I'm just slow rolling it. Yes, it'll get done. Yes, I'm working on it. Yes, I've got parts for it. Yes, I have an idea. I have a plan. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But it's hard for me to say, I'm getting this engine done so I can go do this. That's the problem. And plus it's carburetor, and you guys all freak out about carburetor stuff. It was funny when it was EFI, it was, you need to get a carburetor, blah, blah, blah. Now I get carburetors, we go to the party car place, and it's, oh no, EFI. So, I can't make you guys happy. So, that's where we're at. I want to take that stuff off because we need to get as much weight, we need to get the weight out of the car and stuff like that. You know, we'll still drive it and everything, blah, 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 blah. So, that's what I'm like obsessed with now. So let's get the rear end done. We're gonna pull the short block out of this. We're probably gonna take the old motor that I've got sitting on the stand over here, this old 28 ounce mount, and just stick it on the floor. Put this motor on the engine stand. We're gonna pull the motor and transmission out of McNugget. Once we get a few other little things done, we're gonna pull that out. Then we can do some of our weight loss stuff. We can swap transmissions. And while it's out, we can install this. There's a method to the madness sometimes. You know, I'm trying to somewhat not keep myself from doing a bunch of work, and you know, I end up not always doing that. So what do we got here? Basically, we got the same freaking oil pan that we've got on Pro Stock, except we paid a lot less for this one. I bought that one brand new. This one's obviously used, had a small amount of damage. It looks like they did a really good job welding it up. I mean, I don't care about, yeah, we're good. I think we're 100% good there. I don't care, it's missing one plug. Ooh, gosh. But you know, so this'll do us right here. But I got it for a really good price. I wasn't looking for one of these or looking for an oil pan or anything else. But if I'm going to do this McNugget thing, I was like, well, hey, how am I going to swap all these parts around to do the K-member? I do the transmission, do the K-member all at once. I have the fenders off the car to hold it. It makes it so much easier to do. Put the oil pan on, maybe do the head swap at that point, but I can do that in the car. That doesn't kill me. But yes, so that is what happened. Do the flywheel. So that's why I went on a hunt for a flywheel and on the hunt for an oil pan. I can do all of it at once because we're not going to do, hey, I'm going to do this and go to the track. Hey, not this time. We're throwing the kitchen sink at it and we're just going to go up there and we're going to run our numbers and we're going to have some fun. So the other thing I got while you guys are dozing off, hey, knock that off. I just like yelling at them. Is we're digging around in the Amazon garbage can and we got a pickup. Never been used. Say it's never been used. Nope. I don't know. Somebody may have mocked it up. It's got a little piece of RTV on it. Anyway, yep, that's us. Anyway, this was in Amazon's garbage can, and it was about at least half price. I think it was almost a third of what a new one costs. So we scoop that up. All we need is a dipstick. So we got our oil pan. So all right. So what I gotta do is I gotta freaking get to work. So So we'll see you guys in the next clip.
All right. This thing's been running for about 30 minutes. And as you can imagine, it's a little bit warm. We may have a solution inbound, which would be great. So we'll see. But this right here, I don't, trust driving it a long ways. So, oh well, when you buy used, you win some, you lose some, then you lose some others, then you lose a little bit more. It's like the old saying, there's never enough money to do it right, but there's always money to do it over. And that is a philosophy that I certainly live by, especially in the car world. So, but anyway, still, I mean, how awesome does that look, man? Come on. Oh, one other thing I want to add to this. Someone made a comment, hey, this thing ain't nothing but a set of tall motorsport valve covers away from being pretty awesome. And I was like, I can't afford those. They're like crazy expensive, even the used ones. I have a set, they're on Fail TD. They ain't coming off of Fail TD, so you guys can just stop that right now. But, what I'm thinking is, what's the consensus on painting the motor, the engine? When I pull it out, what's the consensus? Should I shoot it like flat black or Ford gray or something, or leave it the Whataburger orange? Because, I don't know. I don't even know why I'm asking, because it's kind of part of McNugget that it's, this part of the history of McNugget, it being Whataburger orange. Even that's what I call it. Other people may call it a different color orange, but I call it Whataburger orange. But I don't know. I just thought maybe we'll paint the engine. As far as painting the fenders and nose and stuff, I have decided to hold off on that. The main thing is now that I can see it with all black tires and all black wheels on it, I don't hate it as much. I'm still not a fan of the hood though. The blue on the hood. I'm probably gonna have to paint that black. I don't know. There's something about it just doesn't jive with me. But anyway, so yeah, paint the engine. I don't know. I mean, look at that. Still watch. It'll just run forever and be just torching it. It's crazy. I wonder if it's got like, well, it doesn't act like it's got a bad. Ooh, that thing is hot. Holy smoke. All right, I guess I should shut it off. But hey, it's been, like I say, it's been running for like 30 minutes. So anyway, you guys tell me about what your votes are for the engine. Should we paint it a different color or leave it the traditional Whataburger orange? This is not really a McNugget thing, but one of the things we're going to potentially do, or we're probably going to do, whatever, is we're going to take these ported heads off and put them on McNugget. But I want to take the car out to the facility, so when I take the heads and stuff off, it'll be out there. And we got some other stuff planned for it, but I don't want to do it here. But I want to do a compression check, and I want to kind of maybe take the bowls off the carburetor and see if we could find anything going on. The compression check is just standard procedure since we were down on power. See if we can find anything. I'm not looking for any big numbers because this thing's a wore out piece of garbage. As a matter of fact, no, the motor in McNugget, the machine shop, David got that motor from a guy. The machine shop told him that it wasn't worth rebuilding. So David just put it back together stock with all the stock stuff, and here we are. So, but anyway, I was gonna see what we got and see if everything lines up. right. Well, here's the results. I reran 1 and 2 just because. So here's our results. 1, 120, 2, 120, 3, 120, 4, 135, 5, 135, 6, 120, 7, 120, 8, 120. So there's nothing there that's like, oh God. And while those numbers probably sound low, these are old motors. They don't have like 150, 175 or whatever, 190. When I did the fail TD, it's basically the same numbers. It was low or whatever. Maybe that's average for 302 or these old 302s. I don't know. When I do them, that's what they end up with. So there's nothing there to say, oh my gosh, we've got an issue. The plugs didn't look great, but I did run the car just idling and stuff. I put a different oil pressure gauge on it and it read the same. So I'm not happy with that situation. I think we're just gonna, bolt the fenders and stuff on and put the back on and put the plugs back in it and stuff. I'll probably take the carburetor apart and we'll end up driving it out to the plant. Then we can do what we need to do out there. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. It's, it is what it is. But we've got a lot of work to do, and a lot of it too is game planning. Okay, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? So on and so forth. So I gotta have the plan all together, then I just start implementing it. Because there's technically a lot of moving parts as far as get the short block out of Krusty, then I gotta take the K-member, you know what I mean? Gotta do the rear end stuff and then this and that. What I do wanna do is get the rear end put together and put it in McNugget and take it for a test drive. Because, just take it and I can roll it. The second, third, and fourth are basically all the same in a regular T5 as an A5. There's not enough difference there to, oh my gosh, it's a huge ratio difference. It's not like that. It's basically first gear is the big one. So I can still kind of get an idea of how the car is going to feel a little bit. Just, I just want to drive it with that intake, to be honest. That's all it boils down to. I just want to drive it with the intake. So we get the rear end in it, and then we can take it for a drive, and then I guess we'll do the other stuff. But we got to get this out. There's a lot of it's a domino effect. So anyway, certainly appreciate you guys, hanging out with us. And I mean, the struggle bus, we're on it. It's not really a struggle. It just is what it is. Just a lot of work. So, but we'll get where we want to be. I think with McNugget, I'm kind of, like I say, motivated. I'm going to have some time off coming up, so I'm really hoping to get a bunch of work done on McNugget. I'm really hoping to get a bunch of work done on Rob Zombie, or I say a bunch of work, just get him moving along. Trojan as well, and I'd like to work on the silver car some too. So I'd really like to get that stuff done, and of course this car needs work. The fail TD needs some work. I just got to get on it, is what it boils down to. I just got to get on it and get to work. So anyway, so thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the ways you guys support the channel. We literally couldn't do it without you. Especially thanks for watching. And until next time on the Substandard Leader Box Body videos, 1 year only Lincolns, 4 drag vans, and as always, fighting the good fight against Dr. Fear on this here man's YouTube channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.